Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today, as you can tell by the title, I'm gonna share a story time with you. So this is a story of when I got arrested in Canada for human trafficking. I know, it's crazy. Alright, so let me just get right into this. Alright, so basically, I just went to visit my friend. This is like in 2010. So, I was going to Canada. This was like maybe my fifth time going to Canada in the same year. And I was going for maybe like 3 days for like the weekend. I live in London, so I was just going for the weekend, whatever. I was going to visit my friend. Now, because I was going, the friend that I was going to visit, his friend had just moved from London to Canada to seek asylum. Now, I didn't know this. All he told me was, his friend is there, and the friend used to live in London, so basically, I should just meet the friend's girlfriend and then bring a bag for the friend. So, these times I was very naive. I was just like, oh yeah, sure. I mean, I only had a little hand luggage because I was just there for 3 days. So that was it. So I met the friend's girlfriend at Heathrow, and she gave me a big suitcase, and I opened it just to make sure there was no drugs or anything, and there wasn't. It was just literally men's clothes and some documents, letters, that sort of thing. I didn't really think much of it because obviously if he's moved from London to Canada, I'm just presuming that maybe these are the stuff that he left behind. Okay, so I get to Canada. I remember I took Indian Airways, and I remember I was like on my womanly. So, and I have really bad cramps when I'm on my monthly. So, I was in pain all through the flight. I think I was the only black person on the flight. It was transiting from India, to Heathrow and then to Canada. So, I got on. The flight was about 9 hours, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So I got to Canada, and I went through immigration, and I remember very clearly at immigration they asked me, they were like, oh, how long are you here for? And I was like, I'm just here for 3 days. And then they were like, oh, okay, who are you here to see? And I was like, I'm just here to see my friend. And they were like, okay, cool, well, welcome to Canada, I hope you enjoy your stay. I was like, thank you. So I went through, baggage claim, got my bags, everything, and literally, as I was just about to exit the airport, like, I just had police surround me, and they were just like, hi, are you Miss so and so? I was like, yes. And they were like, we're arresting you on suspicion of human trafficking. And at this time, I'm a bit confused. I was like, sorry, where's the human and where am I trafficking them to? And they were just like, yeah, please come with us, this, that. So they took me to a back room, and then they started opening my suitcases, this, that. And then they were like, oh, who is this bag for? And I'm like, it's for my friend's friend, because I'm coming for 3 days. My friend's friend just moved here. So, I met up with the girlfriend, and they asked me to bring this bag for the friend. And then they were like, do you know the name of the individual whose things you're bringing? And I was like, no, I don't. And they were like, okay, but why are you bringing stuff for somebody that you don't know? And I'm like, did you not hear me? I'm bringing it. I'm basically doing a favor for my friend. And then they were like, well, just to let you know, this person has just come into the country. They're in a camp for asylum seekers and this, that. And I was like, okay, that's fine, but that still doesn't explain how I'm being arrested for human trafficking, because I'm just doing a favor. And they were like, okay, well, can you unlock your phone for us? This was BBM days. Like, there wasn't, I'm sure there was iPhone, but I couldn't afford iPhone, so I had a BBM at that time. So they went through all my conversations that I was having with my friend that I was coming to visit, and then the conversations that I was having with the girlfriend that I was going to meet and everything. So after they went through, obviously, like, they clocked that, yes, the story that I'm saying is true. So they were like, okay, well, we need to investigate this whole situation before we allow you entry into the country. And I was like, yeah, investigate all you want, because at the end of the day, like, I don't really understand what's going on. Now, mind you, these times I'm in pain. Like, I'm in so much pain. I haven't eaten because I wasn't about to eat Indian Airways food, and I don't like Indian food, and I don't eat pizza. I don't eat fufu. Like, I don't even eat peas. Like, I'm just very very particular about certain foods. So I was hungry. I was tired. I was just in pain. I was just like, ugh, I just need a hot shower and rest. So I was like, yes, of course. Like, how long is this thing gonna take? And then they were like, well, we don't know. It might take a couple of hours or it might take a couple of days. And I was like, okay, so I'm supposed to be here for 3 days. And where am I supposed to be whilst you investigate this thing? They're like, well, if it's something that's going to take more than a day, then we're going to have to lock you up. I said, lock who up for where? Says who? And then they're like, okay, well, if you don't want to basically get locked up pending the investigation, then you can basically sign a document that will say we will put you back on the next flight back to London, and then basically that will be the end of it. And I was like, yeah, I'm not getting locked up for anybody and for no reason, because like, I was very young. I think 2010, this was 8 years ago, so I was, well, 9 years ago now. I was maybe like 2021. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna sign whatever it is so that I can just go, like, put me on the next flight back to London, because this is long. And then, so basically I signed, so basically all this was happening downstairs, like very close to the entrance. So once I said that, they took me back upstairs to like some offices, some backroom offices. And then I was waiting. Then I went up to the counter. Now, hi. Yeah, so basically I'm at work, so forgive and I don't have editing stuff, so I can't really edit this out. But anyway, so back to the story. So they took me upstairs, and then when I got to the counter, when it was my turn, they called me up to the counter, and then the guy that I met at the counter, he gave me the papers to sign. So basically, so as he's giving me the paper, he got radioed like somewhere where they called him, and then he was like, oh, yeah, just read through and then sign when you're ready. So these times I'm tired, I'm hungry, I'm just scared, because I'm like, why am I being arrested for human trafficking? Like, of all things, human trafficking. Like, I don't want this on my record. I've got family in Canada that, someday I would like to move to Canada, because I love Canada. I fell in love with it on all my trips and everything. And, like, these people were just telling me, oh, if we find out that, you're guilty, you will be barred from ever entering Canada, that sort of, like, they were just doing the most. And I was just like, can you just stop this life? Because I'm not a criminal, and I'm not, into any organized crime or anything like that. It was just so annoying, and I was just so pissed off. So as the guy has given me the document, he's been radioed and called somewhere, so he left. So I went through the whole thing, and I signed it. As soon as I signed it, the guy came back, and he was like, oh, we've just spoken with the guy in the camp, and we've just spoken with the person that's coming to pick you up, and we've basically found out that yes, you're not human trafficking, that you're just doing, basically everything that I've told them is true, and I'm not basically human trafficking. So he was like, oh, but have you signed the document? And I was like, yeah. He's like, oh, well, because you've signed the document, we're gonna have to put you on the next flight back. And I was like, really? Like, for real? Are you not taking your package? Tomorrow. Okay. All right. Okay. Yes. So basically, like, he was like, oh, if you hadn't signed it, then you're free to enter the country. But because you've signed it, unfortunately, we have to put you back. We have to put you on the next flight back to London. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, are you actually kidding me right now? I've basically woken up early, taken a 9-hour flight, got to Canada, gone through all of this for nothing. Like, for absolutely nothing. So I was just like, do you know what? It's fine, whatever. Put me on the next flight back to London. And basically, that's what they did. And I was like, wait, so will I be allowed to come back to Canada? And they were like, yeah, you're fine to come back to Canada. Now, I haven't gone back to Canada since 2010, so I don't know if, if I'll have issues the next time I try to go to Canada. But yeah, this is the story of how I got arrested and I was nearly put in jail in Canada for human trafficking. But yeah, like it was just so random and it was just so annoying, because if I had just taken my time and if I had just been a little bit brave, but I'm sorry, this is a different country. I wasn't trying to be brave. I was just tired. I was just bothered. I just wanted this whole ordeal to just be over. And to be honest, it took, like, the whole thing took like maybe about an hour or 2 hours, but then still, like, I was just like, this is just annoying. So yes, that's my story of how, yeah, I got arrested in Canada on suspicion of human trafficking. So annoying. But anyways, that's the end of my story, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Please comment down below if you did, if you want me to do more story times, that sort of thing. I know my videos are a bit annoying because I don't have the editing software yet, but I promise I will get the editing software, and my videos will be a little bit more lit. Okay? Alright guys, so please don't forget to subscribe, like and share and comment down below. Bye guys, until next time.